Hey guys, this is Ganesh. Welcome back to Ganesh Jadhav Automation Studio.
So today we are going to learn about the difference between isEnabled method, isDisplayed method, and isSelected method. So many people are having the confusion between these three methods. But let me clear the one of the most important thing, common thing between all these three methods. All these three methods returns you the Boolean response. Like whether it is true or false, it's completely depend on the condition. But all this in these three methods, this is one of the common thing. All these three methods return you the common response basically. Now let's try to understand what is meant by the isEnable method. So what is meant by the isEnable method? To verify if an element is enable or disable on the web page, that time basically we are using this isEnable method. Return true if element is enable, or returns false if an element isn't disabled. So this is the common thing basically we have in the isEnable method. Now let me open the one of the examples. So this is a website basically we have, and here you can see guys, this is a context basically we have isEnable and isDisable method we have. Now here you can see guys, if I'm writing down something in this text box, it means this text box is enabled because I'm able to write down over here. Okay, so this is an enable method basically we have. And if I'm disable this text box, here you can see guys, I'm just click on this disable button. I am not able to write down anything over here. I'm not able to write down anything over here. So it means this text box is disabled. So whenever we want to verify this property, that time we have to use this enable and disable thing. So let me show you how to do this thing. So I'm just inspecting this element and I'm just fetching the property. So do we have any ID over here? Yes, we have a ID for enable button and we have a ID for disable button. So what exactly I'm trying to do? I'm just creating the two web element over here. Web element, with web element we have this enable web element. Enable button is equal to driver dot find element by dot id basically we have, and I'm just providing the id over there in double quoted. This is an id, just I'm simply provide. Okay, when this is done, another web element I'm just creating over here, web element, which button we have disable button is equal to driver dot find element method basically we have to use, by dot id basically we have to use, and I've just simple use this like disable button id, because this is a disable button id basically we have, and this is simple. I'm using the id over here and I'm providing the semicolon. When this is done, now what exactly I'm trying to do before running this, like once I open this website, the by default the property of this button, by default property of this text box is a enable. It means it means we can able to write down something over here. So here you can see guys, right now I've just click on this disable, but like disable over here, and I'm not able to write down anything over here. If I'm again clicking on this enable button, here you can see I'm successfully again able to write down the text over here. This is the thing basically we have. So what exactly we need to do? It means whenever I'm able to click on this enable button, the the property of this text box is a true. Is enable, it means you will get a true value. Once I click on this disable button, I will get a false property over there, because the property of this text box is a completely false. So here you can see guys, what exactly I'm trying to do. First of all, system.out.print, and again for this text box again I have to fetch the property, because we must need to check the property of this text box only. So yes, we have a id for this text box as well. So simple, I'm just creating the one of the web element over here, web element text box, this is a web element. I'm just creating driver dot find element, by dot id basically we have to use, and here you can see guys, simple, I'm providing the id over here. Once this is done, now what exactly I'm trying to do, first of all I'm going to check the property of this text box. Text box dot what guys is enable, is this text box is enable or not. So basically initially you will get a true value over here, because you should get a true value over here, because whenever we are opening this website, the by default property of this text box is a true. Okay, so you will get a true result over there. So here you can see guys, you will get a true result over there. Then again I'm going to use system.out.property. Okay, now what exactly I'm trying to do over here, just a minute. So what exactly I'm trying to do over here, I am going to disable the property of this text box. How basically I have to do text box dot, okay, not text box. What exactly I'm trying to do, guys? So whatever disable button we have, I'm just click on this disable button. Okay, once this is done, again I'm going to fetch the property of this. Once I have disabled the text box, ideally the property of this text box will be false over here. You will get a false value over there. And again, what is the value of this now? Once you will get a false value, because this text box is a disable. Now again I'm going to enable this text box with the help of the enable button, and here I'm just clicking on that button, and again I'm going to fetch the property of this enable button. Here you can see, guys, so again you will get a true value over here. Here you can see, whenever I am freshly open this website, here you can see the basically I can able to insert anything because this text box is enabled. Here I'm again clicking on this disable button. It means your text box is disabled, and here you can see you will get a property here as well, which is named as a disable. Now you cannot able to insert anything over there. And again I'm clicking on this enable button. Now you can able to simple insert something, anything over there in this text box. This is the beauty of this like is a selected method. Now here you can see, guys, whenever we want to check the property of this text box, whether it is enable or disable, we have to check with the help of this is a enable method. And here you can see, guys, simply I'm just running this script, test scripts over here. And once this is done, you will get a as it is output over there on the console. Here you can see, guys, you will get a, first of all, you will get a true response because the particular web element is enabled, like text box is enabled. Then you are going to disable that text box. Then you will get a, and once you disable that text box, again you are checking the property of that text box. Then you will get a false property, and again you are clicking on this enable button. You will get a true property because you already enable. This is how basically is the enable method we are using for checking the property of the particular text box, particular button, whether it is properly enabled or not. So this is how basically thing I want to tell you about the is is enable method. Okay, once this is done, now what exactly we are trying to do, we are going to learn about the another method which is named as a what, guys, is a display method. Okay, what is meant by the isDisplay method? So isDisplay method to verify a presence of a web element within the web page. Whenever we want to check whether this particular web element is present or not on the particular web page, that time basically we have to use is the display method. This method return either true or false boolean value. This method also return you the boolean response only. If the element is present, it returns true. Otherwise, it return false. This method can applicable to almost all element on the web page. Whatever element basically we have on the web page, this web element is applicable to all over, guys. Okay, here you can see we have an example here as well. So this is a website basically we have, and this is an example of the is a display method. Now here you can see, guys, this is a text box. Right now I can able to see over here, I can write down anything over here. Now simple, what exactly I'm trying to do, I'm simple hiding this web element. Here you can see, guys, and simple click on this hide button. You can see this web element is disappeared. It means whenever I'm checking the property of this web element, whether it is displayed or not, so right now you will get a false property, and if I'm clicking on the show button, you will get a true property. So let me check what is the property basically we have. So here you can see, guys, first of all I'm going to check the locator XPath of this show button. Yeah, we have an ID over here. So simply I'm just copying this thing, and simply I am just using these terms over here. Okay, so let me comment it out this all code. Basically this is for an what, guys, this is for an what, this is for an is enable purpose. Now we are going to learn is a display method. Okay, and again I'm going to create all three web element show button is equal to driver dot find element method. We are using by dot id method basically. I have to use, and when this is done in double quote, I have to write down the ID. When this is done, another web element I'm going to create. Web element hide button is equal to driver dot find element by dot id I have to use, and I'm just using the id over there. Let me show you the id. This is an id basically we have. Okay, when this is done, okay, and then another web element I have to create. Web element, which web element? This is a text box web element I want to fetch. So here you can see, guys, I'm just yeah, here for this text box also we have a id basically. So simple, I'm just copying this id and I'm just write down over here text box is equal to driver dot find element by dot id basically we have to use, and in double quoted I'm just need to provide the id over here. When this is done, now what exactly I'm trying to do, guys? First of all, I'm just fetching the property of that web element. Is it display or not? So basically at initial level, by default this text box is over there, so you will get a true value over there. Here you can see, guys, you will get a true value over there. When this is done, again, what exactly I'm trying to do now, I'm just hiding that text box. So how basically we can use, so whatever button id we fetch over there, I'm just copying this button id and I'm just using this click method, and again I'm just using SOUAT, and again I'm going to check the property of that web element. Is the display? So what exactly you will get here? False, because of that web element is disappeared over here. You can see, guys, once I click on this hide button, you will get a false property or false result over there. And then another, what exactly I'm trying to do, show button dot, again, what exactly I'm trying to do, again I'm clicking on the show button, and now again I can see that text box basically. So when this is done, again I'm going to check the property of that web element. Text box dot is a display method, and when this is done, and now I'm going to run my scripts over here. Here you can see, guys, what exactly happened. Like you will get an expected result over here is display. First of all, you will get a true response, then false and true. This is how basically response you will get over there. Now let me see, guys, and here you can see, guys, you will get an expected result. So first of all, by default property of that text box is display. Yes, true, because we can able to see that text box over there. Then we are hiding that text box with the help of the false. We are clicking on this that hide button, so you will get a false property over there. And last one, you will get a is a display method. It means because of you are like showing, you are clicking on that show button, so you will get a property as is display is a true. This is how the property basically we will get, and is with the help of this is display method. Once this is done, then another last method we have, which is named as a is a selected. Now what is meant by the is selected method? Returns with returns whether an element, say checkbox or radio button, is selected or not. So whenever we want to check whether the particular radio button is selected or not, that time basically we have to use this is selected method. If selected returns true, uh, if the particular radio button or checkbox is selected, it will give you the true response. If those are not selected, then it will give you the false result. So basically this is a selected method is applicable on the radio button on checkbox. Now here you can see, guys, we have options over here. These are the radio button basically we have. So let me click on this web element, and here you can see, guys, yeah, we have a id. So right now what exactly I'm trying to do, simple, I'm just commenting this code as of now. Okay, simple, I'm just commenting this code here as of now. And what exactly I'm trying to do, another code I'm just writing for is selected method. Okay, for this method I'm just writing down my code. Now for what exactly I'm just doing over here, now by default property of this web element is, if I'm checking is selected, no, basically this web element is not selected. When it is selected, when I'm clicking on this web element, that time we can say that this web element is selected, but right now this web element is not selected. Okay, so what exactly we have to do, we must need to check whether this web element is selected or not. So here you can see, guys, we have a id over here, BMW. So id basically we have, so simple, I'm just writing down the creating the web element radio button. This is an web element I'm just creating over here, driver dot find element by dot id basically we have to use, and this is what id basically I'm just providing. When this is done, guys, Now what exactly I have to do? Now I can check whether the property is available for this web element or not. How basically we can check? Simple, I just use this system.out.println, and I'm going to check the radio button property. Is it selected? So what exactly output you will get? First of all, you will get a false output over there. First of all, you will get a false output over there. Now what exactly I'm trying to do? Again, I'm going to check the I'm going to click on that particular radio button. So what exactly I'm trying to do? Radio button dot, I'm just clicking on this web element, and now I'm just again I'm going to check like what is the property of that radio button. Is it selected or not? Simple, I'm just going to use a radio button dot is selected. Okay, is selected method I'm going to use. So what kind of property you will get over here? Now that radio button is selected and you will get a true result over there. So this is how basically we can check. And let me run my script basically over here. Here you can see, guys, I'm again going to run my scripts over here, and you will get a false and true results you will get over there. So this is one of the biggest difference between is the display, is enable method, and is selected method. This is one of the biggest difference basically we have. So let it be red, and here you can see, guys, you will get a proper output over there. Okay, I hope you really enjoy this video, and I hope it's really like it's clear to understand, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks.